Hello, hello, and welcome to a stream. I don't think anyone's here yet, but I am here, and I'm just sort of getting everything set up. Freddie is demanding attention as per usual. Hello, One Love. Hello there, Zoltal, or Zoltal, or I don't really know how to say it if I'm being honest with you. Welcome. Happy to see you all. Hello, Sugar, Naomi, Physics, Human. Hello, everybody. I've got a kitty, and he is very affectionate. Some might say overly affectionate. That's okay. I still love him just the same. There we go. I see Sugar is already jumping into the politics talk. Yes, we will be talking about that. So he did on social media post that there was a ceasefire, but the Iranian some Iranian officials said that they have not heard a peep about ceasefire. So I think it's fake news. I think he's just saying shit. I think it's just like he's so dementia addled, like he doesn't know what the hell is going on anymore. Congrats on starting HRT, by the way, Sugar. Congrats on that. That is pretty awesome. Enjoy the ride. I personally was very impatient when I first started HRT, but if I'm being totally real with you, the very beginning of starting HRT is like the scariest but also the most exciting time like you'll ever have during your transition. Like seeing the changes just start happening is wonderful. It's really I got really impatient about it, and it's like, oh, it's not happening fast enough, but like before you know it, you'll be a year in, and before you know it, you'll be 2 years in. And like honestly, like try to take progress photos, try to document your transition whatever way you can so that you have something to look back on. I have my entire first year documented like almost every day, and I'm very happy I did that because it gives me a lot to look back on and say like, wow, look at all these changes. Look at all the stuff that happened. Livy, hello. HRT feels like it takes forever at first, but after a year, you're so used to it and the changes could fly right past you. Exactly. That's very accurate. The first year feels like it's never ending crawling and everything, but it does get a lot better. Can't get a break. Yeah, I totally understand. There's a lot going on in the world right now. But I'm happy that you're exploring your own journey and finding your own way through to get happiness and self-love and everything. That's all very important. I think that talked about this in a recent video, but I think a lot of us need to focus on our own spheres of influence and focus on what we can do in our own personal lives, because like we're not going to be able to have a resistance or a resistance movement if we're not taking care of ourselves. Like that's just the truth of it. Like you're not useful to anyone if you have crippling anxiety and depression and you're not doing self-care and all that stuff. So I definitely feel like it's important to make sure that you're doing self-care, you're doing everything you can in your own personal life, and then if you have energy left over and time left over and everything, then from there try to get involved locally with organizing or local support groups or whatever. Try to build community. Yeah, I could go through my whole spiel or whatever. Remember when Trump would say, no, that's fake news? Yeah, I mean, he still does. Like, he still does. You're only a few months in and you feel a lot better. Well, I'm happy for you, Zoltal. That's awesome. I think for me, the tipping point where I started presenting femme like 100% of the time was like 6 to 9 months in. That's where I really started exploring makeup, exploring like how I was dressing and all that stuff, and it made a big difference. Did I see the interview with Sarah McBride? I skimmed through it very quickly, and I did not really thoroughly read it with Ezra Klein. Yeah, I did not really thoroughly read it. I saw there was mixed reaction to it. I think that, I don't know, Sarah McBride, there's a nuanced conversation there, but I don't know if anyone wants to have it. Um, I know a lot of people are very reactionary in reacting to her, and we've like a lot of people have developed a poor opinion of her due to some of the things that she's done, and therefore, like whenever someone sees Sarah's name, they just like react like, oh well, that must be bad or whatever. And I think there's more nuance to it than that. Like I of course disagree with some of the ways that she's responded to some of the transphobia that's been tossed her way, but also like she's in a position that I would never want to be in personally. Like, can you imagine being in her shoes and trying to be the like I don't I don't envy her position, basically, is what I'm saying here. So I think there's an element of that where like no, she's not perfect, and maybe she's not the kind of activist for our rights that like I would want her to be, and maybe she misspeaks in certain times or is just like not necessarily doing things the way I would do them, but like I wouldn't want to be in her position anyway. And like I don't know, it's a complicated conversation, right? Like I think anyone that is like, oh, she's amazing or oh, she's terrible, like I think they're both wrong. Like she's not a perfect person, no one is, but also like, you know, like she's more moderate than I am, so I'm just going to have ideological differences with her that we are not going to reconcile. And like I don't hate her for it, but I definitely disagree with her on a number of issues, and I think that some of her responses to what's gone on against her have been lackluster. But yeah, that's like a whole nother conversation. Everybody like the stream. Thank you, Livy. Yes, please like the stream. I would I should send out like a message on Blue Sky or something like, hey, please stream please. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I apologize for the lack of frequency with streams. Life has just been super crazy lately. You may not know, or you may know, but I have been taking like some weekends away, like weekends to like festivals and stuff like that. And because of that, I basically, where are my live streams? Oh, there they are. Why is my live stream that I'm like doing right now not listed under my channel dashboard on my phone? So annoying. Hi there, the ghost of you. Hi there, C Star M. I hold on. My I key is giving me problems, and I think I'm gonna have to like take the switch out and clean it or something. Like it's not the first time I've had issues with my I key. I think that maybe the switch is just dying on me. Glad you're doing the festivals, needs downtime. Yeah, but because I'm doing the festivals, it's making my schedule very chaotic, where instead of having like the same schedule every week, like it just throws everything into this really chaotic flux. So I apologize, you know, that I'm not like doing streams every week 100% of the time at the same time. Even today, like I said, between 5 and 8 p.m. in my Discord is when I said I would start, and it is like 8:40, and I you know, we just got started 10 minutes ago, so I was like 30 minutes late to my latest time that I gave on my own stream. But you know, it's just like it is what it is. I'm trying my best. I promise you all that I'm trying my best to get content out. Just I'm a busy girly. I have a lot going on with work and everything, and I'm getting considered for a promotion, and it's just there's just a lot going on. So it's just, you know, on top of my hobbies, which we can talk a little bit about. I got a new electric unicycle that has been pretty amazing. I've got like 50 miles on it so far, and it's been super fun. honestly. Like for real, like the world and our country are like crumbling. But like I'm having my life right now is honestly going pretty well, and it's a really bizarre juxtaposition where it's like, holy crap, everything is crumbling around me, but in my like I'm happier with myself than I've ever been in my life, and I'm happier with like my life position than I've ever been. And like I just like I'm really like thriving in my hobbies, thriving in self-care. Like I'm just like it's wild. But you know, obviously the world is not doing so hot. Hold on, I'm trying to do a couple posts here. Also, I've been a little demotivated with YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. Why is autocorrect not correcting? There we go. My ad revenue has been cut in like has been like basically half. Um, and my views have gone down, and like things have just not been going super duper well for the channel, for reasons I cannot understand. Seems like there are some algorithmic things happening, or they're pulling advertisers from LGBTQ content creators, so I'm not receiving the same amount of revenue. Like honestly, the Patreon is the only thing keeping my channel from plummeting straight into a deficit again. Where like I was running at a deficit for a long time, just paying for things out of my own pocket with my own paychecks. But the channel has been funding itself recently, but it's also gotten harder recently. Um, Hello, Gwennifer. Hello, Kitten Claus. NBR. I work in food service. I'm not going to tell you what company I work for, but I do work in food service. I worked in food service through college. I got 2 degrees. Like two. I had 2 majors and a minor, so I spent like 6.5 years in undergrad, and I did food service through that entire time, working basically 30 to 40 hours a week while in college. And then when I graduated, I went into salary management for food service, and then I did that for a year. And the company I was working for at the time was unhinged, completely crazy. Like my district manager was basically abusive towards my workers. And so I said, I'm gonna try something else. I decided to go for massage therapy. I went back to school for massage therapy and got licensed as a massage therapist while also working in food service again. So that added up to like 7.5 years, almost 8 years. And then I worked in as a massage therapist until the start of the pandemic. And when the pandemic started, it really screwed that over. But you know, food service was still an option because essential workers. And so I went back to food service to just pay the bills. And then there was a time period where I had to help a family member, so I was not working. And then now I'm back in food service again. So I've got like, with the specific company I work for, I've got almost like 9 years. Yeah, Kitty, Freddie is very much begging for attention. Okay. Hi there, Brian. You discovered me about a week ago and you love my channel. Well, thank you for being here. I super appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm glad people are finding my channel and enjoying it, enjoying the content. I do try my best. I try to do what I can. It's very difficult times to get content out for me right now. But you know, I'm working on it, and it's a work in progress all the time. So oh gosh. Could do some React content. People love that shit. Like, what do you mean React content? Like, I don't know. You mean like react? Like what would I react to? Just like political stuff? I don't know. I always struggle with that. Like, who do I react to? What's the point of it? Like, I don't know. I usually just report on stuff in my content. Like, I mostly just like talk about whatever's going on at the time. Am I excited for the New York City mayoral race? Yes, it is exciting, but I I I try not to get too excited nowadays before, before the positive results happen, because like I swear, if Cuomo gets reelected, I'm gonna be so upset. And like, I don't want to get my hopes up that, I think his name's Mondani, right? Mondani. I haven't really said his name out loud, but like it would be really amazing if he won. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to get my hopes up that we're, like Cuomo could still win. And then like we're just living in the worst timeline still. And I don't know. I just yeah. Yeah. So tentatively, yes. Freddie, he wants to sit on my lap, but there's no lap to sit on. I have a kneeling chair. So like I don't have any lap space. You really enjoy the interviews and I'm good at it? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I would like to do more interviews, but to be honest, I don't know. I sort of had a streak of doing them and I don't really have anyone to interview about anything in particular right now. Um I guess it would be maybe interesting to talk to other trans content creators about like what's going on with trans YouTubers right now, because like I've seen it among various channels that I watch. Like I know Alice in Wonder One and just did a video talking about how she has been affected by seemingly random algorithmic changes and other stuff. So maybe it would be interesting to interview some content creators about what they've seen recently with that kind of stuff, maybe. But I would have to get in contact with some people and I'm not very good at that. I just don't have a lot of time, and so it's hard for me to like randomly throughout the day be like, oh, I should try to find a way to reach out to a content creator. Freddie is such a chunky boy. Freddie is such a chunky boy. Yes, he is. But I'm glad everyone likes the interviews. I'm glad that that's something people are enjoying. I'm glad that those are doing well. I and I'm thankful to those who have given me their time to be interviewed. Oh, I wanted to mention that like Trans Unity Coalition just got basically what's the word, like officially certified in all 50 states. Brad, what are you doing? Oh, I think you found a piece of food back there and he's trying to dig it out. So that nonprofit that I have been volunteering with and doing stuff with, they are officially a part of the entire United States. So they're going to be looking for people interview me. I'm a trans person who has traveled the world openly as trans and in a position of authority in the oldest. What do you what club do you mean? Sorry, I'm like being a bit autistic here, but I don't really understand what you're in a position of authority in the oldest boys club in the world. What would that be specifically? But I mean, I'm interested. Um Hey, Fred. Oh. It just really depends though on like what's going on in federal news and what's going on. Um, because right now, like the biggest thing is the budget bill, obviously, for trans rights. Like the budget bill has some pretty disastrous stuff in it, but that budget bill is sort of stuck in like a limbo right now. Like it's sort of, Fred, I love you, buddy. I love you bunches, but like, I don't have. There's no cuddle room, Fred. Um, yeah. So, hello, Evelyn. Welcome. Happy to have you. Happy to have everyone here. I wanted to apologize yet again for not. You were the navigation officer on a seagoing ship for the past 12 years. Oh, okay. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Um, Potential filibuster coming, hopefully. We'll see. I mean, like right now the bill is frozen, sort of like before it goes to a Senate vote, the parliamentariat and committees get to have their way with it. And so like who knows what the yeah, Quinn, I remember you mentioning that because you were the one who offered, to potentially get me in contact with someone for a job, I think, but that didn't end up being a thing. What's the worst part of the federal bill is it makes even more it makes even moving to blue states not able to get around stuff. Well, but see, we don't even really know because like if the federal if the bill were signed, then there would be states where like the federal law contradicts the state law. And I think usually people end up um people usually end up going with the state law, like judges and stuff. So I mean I feel like that would get resolved and it would probably land with the states. um but yeah, I mean it's still just it's a horrible situation. Like the what's in the budget bill right now is horrible. It's terrible for our community. And oh my gosh. Well, I know that your username is kind of goofy, but I'm really sorry to hear about that boofed it. That's not something anyone should have to go through. And honestly, it's horrible. It's horrible. The right would crucify me if they were paying attention to what I'm about to say, but like the right commits so much political violence and they try to pretend like everyone on the left, like they try to pretend that everyone on the left are like these like hostile gang members burning down cities um and robbing stores in mass. But like the right wing commits so many mass shootings, so many horrible things like swatting and other things are committed, bomb threats. All of that comes straight from the right, and they just like, oops, thoughts and prayers or whatever. Like it's ridiculous. They play the same clip 5,000 times in one day of a Waymo burning. Exactly. Meanwhile, there are hundreds of mass shootings every year committed by unhinged right wingers, like Paul Pelosi being beat with a hammer by that one random conservative. Crazy stuff, honestly. Unhinged stuff. But the queer people can be the friendliest, most kind people on the planet. Yeah, I mean, I think that that's True. Very true. Very, very true. I am slouching something awful today, and I need to not do it. I started streaming, and my brain has just been like, like honestly, I'm very, very tired, and like I've been so overwhelmed lately that anytime I have a spare minute to like just do nothing, I end up just like disassociating and like staring at a wall or something. I've been woo. Mackenzie, thank you for the $5. She said, where I grew up, right wingers consider defense or wanting to avoid their hate, violence, and dehumanization as violence, especially when hit back. Yeah, no, that is so true. Honestly, that's so true. Like they'll a bunch of Nazis will gather, like literal Nazis will gather to preach hate, and then like people show up with like firearms to like intimidate them and let them know that like that we've got our eyes on them, and they like flip out about it, or like like the LA protests that happened recently, like those were like mostly peaceful. Like they were really reaching to try to make it seem like it was like the George Floyd protests, which were on a scale way bigger than what we saw recently, and like for the most part very peaceful. Like it's just so ridiculous, the framing that the extents that they go to try to create some framing that the left are like these unhinged lunatics, attack people and then cry victim. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, that is why I'm not still at sea. I love being able to help my chosen family, though. It was the push I needed to switch to a life that matters. Oh, I see. Someone on an MSN news article called me a sadistic monster for, in their words, dehumanizing Stephen Miller. Okay, if there is a single human on the face of this earth that deserves to be dehumanized, it's Stephen Miller, because like that guy is not a human. Like that he is a robot dressed up as a human. Like he is a Terminator dressed up in a human suit, or like he is a bunch of like evil reptilian colonies underneath a giant trench coat, wearing people face. Like I swear, like he is one of the most psychopathic, ridiculous lunatics I have ever seen in my entire life. Like if you listen to Stephen Miller talk, you should come to the conclusion that he is not a human and he does not deserve rights. Because I'm kidding about the not deserving rights part, but you know what I mean. Like he deserves the hate, like because he perpetuates hate. Like I just don't understand how the right wing doesn't understand this. Like they have like Trump is like one of the worst people in the entire world, if not like the worst person in the entire world. And like they do this pearl clutching when someone gets mad and calls Trump like a pedophile, or a convicted rapist or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, how dare you? Oh, you're so mean. Oh, you're attacking us. Oh, you're dehumanizing us. Oh, you're just, it's like, literally, those are all true things about him. Like, literally, he is a horrible person. And not calling him a horrible person is not like, like, we don't need to coddle those people's feelings, because, like, they have, like, forfeited the right to pleasantries. Like, they have forfeited the right to good faith approaches. Like they burn the bridge to the rest of civil society, and so they don't deserve to have the same treatment that, like, I would say most people deserve, because they've just like done so much horrible shit. Like I don't understand this like lack of, like, honestly, I think a lot of it on the right has to do with this mentality where like there are so many horrible people that coalesce on the right, and the reason why is because they feel like, well, if there's someone else on my team who's this horrible, I'm not that horrible. So like, like I'm not gonna take the heat, because there's always someone who's like done something way worse and is still accepted within the in group. And so they feel like this level of safety where it's like, oh, it doesn't matter how racist, it doesn't matter how sexist, it doesn't matter how horrible and bigoted and just like unjust and whatever, it doesn't matter, because I'll still be accepted at the end of the day by this toxic social group that enables some of the worst behaviors in all of humanity. Okay. Stephen Miller, he's a caricature of evil. Yeah. The entire right wing has a persecution complex. Yeah, they literally do. They absolutely do have a persecution complex. Like they do all of this horrible stuff. Like if Iran were to retaliate right now and like destroy a bunch of oil drills, or like they're trying to shut down that one passageway where a bunch of oil goes through. If they actually succeed in doing so, the right wing will come on the very next day and be like, "How dare they? What did we ever do? We didn't do anything wrong. We weren't. All we did was drop. What were the size of the bombs? Were they 30,000-pound bombs? Is that what I heard through the reporting? It was like, I thought they were going to be like 5,000-pound bombs, but apparently they were like 30,000-pound bombs. Like you drop like the heaviest of weapons that you can on them. 300,000? No, I think it was 30,000. They were bunker busters. Yeah, but like the point being is that like we drop these huge bombs on them, and then like maybe they like retaliate in this extremely like tame way, and they're gonna be like, regime change, instant war, send the troops, destroy the nation, and it's mind-blowing. And then like you can find all these clips obviously of Trump when he was campaigning. Like there's even this clip of Trump where he's like, Biden is going to go to war with Iran, like Iran. Like there was a clip of Trump basically saying like Biden is going to go to war to keep himself in power somehow. I don't even know what that means, but he was saying like, I won't do that. I won't go to war. I'm not going to do any of that. It's like, here he is literally doing all of that, and the freaking right wing just, they fall in line. It's just, they fall in line because like to them there are no underlying principles. The only principle they have is arguing for whatever they choose to do. Like anything that they choose to do, any decision that they decide, like anything, any conclusion that they come to, it's working backwards from that conclusion to justify whatever the hell they are doing in the heat of the moment. They have absolutely no moral code. They have absolutely no underlying principles. They are just these idiotic, like honestly, like in a lot of people tend to think that like these, our opposition are full of like these really intelligent manipulators and all this other stuff. Like these are some of the most idiotic, drug-addled, like stimulant psychosis psychopaths that you've ever seen in your entire life. Like there are tons of billionaires in the Trump administration, and in order to become a billionaire, you have to exploit. You have to absolutely get your money off of the backs and the stolen wages of tons of people in our country, and you are inherently basically manipulating a system in order to achieve wealth on a level that should never be possible for any human on the face of the earth. And yet there are tons of them in the Trump administration, and like they just like okay, you mean the Strait of Hormuz? Yeah, that one. Hey Queen, welcome. Are there actually people in the USA who are surprised at Trump lying on that as well? Yeah, there are people, but the funny thing is that like when it was still up in the air over whether we were going to bomb Iran, there were a bunch of right wingers who were like, "Oh, Trump's not going to actually go to war with Iran. We're not going to actually do any of these massive attacks. He doesn't. He wants peace. He wants peace through strength. He's a peace loving guy." And then he does the strikes, and he does the thing that everyone was just saying, like, oh, he's not going to do it, and he wouldn't do it, and he said he's not going to do it, and then he does it, and they're like, masterfully done, sir. That was a stroke of genius. You have won foreign affairs. You have beat the game of Civ that is life, and we applaud you for your grand vision and genius in doing the thing that you said literally weeks ago you weren't going to do, and months ago when you literally said that your opponent was going to do the thing that you just did and that it would be a horrible thing, and then you do it, and then you're like, so smart, so brilliant, so wonderful. I wanna scream. It's nauseating, and this is why the Democrats are so sunk. This is why the Democrats are some of the most pathetic people on the face of the earth, because like your opponents are literally the easiest opponents to attack, to win over moral, like the high ground is right there. Like you are like it is so easy to shame these people because they do some of the worst things that anyone could possibly think of doing. And like it's not hard to attack them and take a stand against what they're doing. And like it's also not hard to see that they're not engaging in good faith. Like it's not like the right wing has not engaged in good faith in so many years, like at least 10 years, probably longer. And it's incredible that there are still Democrats who are like, oh, but we should just bring them to the table and have a good faith discussion on a way to move forward common sense politics bipartisanship. Like that is not the game that is being played, and has not been the game that has, like, the right has not played that game in forever. Okay, we are the only country that actually has them and the capacity to transport them. Oh, I see. It's all optics and reality TV bullshit with Adolf Twitler. I've never heard that nickname for Trump, but that is so funny. I don't understand how Trump's approval rating is so high. I keep thinking there's no way there are people out there so stupid stuff to learn. Well, okay, Ari, I have to say that like a lot of people are not paying attention. They are not educated. They don't have critical thinking skills. They don't have media literacy. Like they just take at face value whatever Joe Rogan or Fox News is saying to them. And so like I hate to be this person, but like I'm not surprised that his approval rating is so high right now, because we live in an age of unparalleled misinformation and disinformation. And like the people on the right wing right now are so genuinely deluded and so genuinely and over infatuated with their dictatorial leader. Like it is a cult. It is actually a cult. Like Trump has a cult of personality, and like they're chugging the Kool-Aid. They're just like go 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 go. Like, oh, do you have more, sir? I'm not dead like everyone else yet. Can you please give me more Kool-Aid? Can you please pass the Kool-Aid? And it's just like it is what it is. Like it's gonna be that way until Trump is out of the public eye. It's gonna be that way until Trump retires from politics and there's no one to replace him in terms of like charisma, in terms of like Trump has an effect on people that no one else is going to be able to mimic, but they're going to try, and then his coalition is going to completely implode or fall apart in every possible way. Because like Trump is literally the center point. He is the thing that holds it together. Without him, the coalition doesn't exist. Caffeine powered tonight, honestly. Autumn says, y'all see that RFK took gender affirming care off of the EHB list. What's EHB? Excuse my ignorance. You know what? It's okay to not know things. Did you know that? It's okay to not know things. It's okay to not know something and then look it up and then know what it is. So that's what I'm going to do. Essential health benefit under the Affordable Care Act. So what would be what's the effect of that if they take gender affirming care off that list? Does that actually change how does that actually change something and how the system works, or is that just like a big F you to us? The people they're trying to be bipartisan with are literally pissing on them. Yeah. I also hate so many people who support Trump says he's the common sense president. I know, but like that's just like it's just like that's how deluded these people are. He's like, Trump is the most neurotic psychopathic person ever, and he's like, he's the common sense president. He's the confidence sense president, where like he literally just does whatever he wants, and then he like, again, post hoc, after the fact, works back from the conclusion and justifies literally whatever it is he just decides to do. Like I'm on the, so I've talked about the Enneagram before. It's like a personality thing, but it's a little deeper than like Myers-Briggs and stuff. And I'm a type 8 and Donald Trump is a type 8, and like I understand the kind of person that he is. He is like the most unhealthy type 8 that has ever existed. Like he has an instinctual drive and a force of will, and he has absolutely no thought process backing any of that up. And that is something that 8s actively have to work on, where like 8s are very instinctually driven people. Like I just, like, a lot of the times I have a very honed gut instinct where I feel a certain way about something, and that is the direction generally that I go in. But there have also been times in my life where that has led me down a certain path or in a direction that is not good for me or not good for other people. And I've had to check myself and be like, wow, my gut instinct was actually wrong. Surprise, surprise, wrong. And that like I have to adjust my instinctual sense to accommodate for that new information. Okie dokie. Yeah, so but Trump doesn't do any of that. He just goes with whatever the instinctual force of will wherever the wind takes him, basically. Well, not wherever the wind takes him. That makes him sound like it's not, 8s aren't really like go with the flow people. 8s are like my way or the highway people. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry I'm so far behind on chat here. I'm trying to keep up, but I also keep ranting. Did you see Charlie Kirk telling a 14-year-old girl only to go to college to find a husband? I sure did. Like, imagine if a left-winger was like talking to a young child about like marriage or something. Like the right wing would melt down and lose their mind. But like then the right wing is like, I know you're 12, but you should really think about having children and marrying a man. Like, let that person have a childhood. That is a child. Let them have a childhood. You do not need to be, oh my God. I'll end the war. I'll end the Ukraine and Russia war on day 1. Yeah, literally. That's what he said. It never would have happened if I were the president. My coworker who voted for Trump keeps saying, it'll be fine. He'll figure it out. I've also had some Trump supporters at work come up to me and be like, I don't understand why people are so mad at Trump. Like, clearly you have no idea. Okay. I was pretty much sure he would actually do it because he didn't want to look like a taco. Like a taco. Like a, I don't even know what that means. The bigoted draft dodger who has bankrupt 3 casinos will figure it out. The right's obsequiousness, wow, that's a big word, is absurd. Why Bernie and AOC are the only people doing any talking is beyond me. Yeah, I know. Like, right now is like literally the easiest time to be a Democrat ever, because like you just have to like be like, look at what they're doing. Like, you don't have to spin it at all. Like, literally the factual reading of what the Trump administration is doing is so unhinged and unbelievable. Like, it's not hard to fight against. Yes, and MTG is trying to pass her bill. We'll see about that. There is no unity. There's no unison with not C's. Oh yeah. The people they're trying to be bipartisan with are literally pissing on them. Oh, I've already read some of that. Oh my gosh. Chat. Let me try to catch up. Don't let this distract you from the fact that Hector is going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines on top of that. Went into Harry's and bought 3 V686 turbo. Oh, that's system. They did Kyle. Congress had that. Wait, who? What? Congress had the chance during his first term. Yeah. Oh, do you mean to impeach him? Okay. Taco Trump. Trump always chickens out. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Charlie Kirk is a freaking weirdo. True. True. Okay. Essentially, states now need to pay for GAC under their health insurance policies. All states that require GAC to be funded will no longer get federal funding for it. Oh, I see. Oh my goodness, I was meaning to bring this up later whenever you talked about it. Yes, by allowing the states to opt in or out of trans healthcare, insurance companies will resist it as elective. Relist it as elective. Okay. It's an FU. The plans can still cover care, but they will basically be penalized for offering it. Okay. Well, I mean, I've seen a lot of medical professionals and medical organizations resist the resist that stuff. So hopefully we'll see more resistance there. What's this personality thing called? The Enneagram. ENNEAGRAM. Gwenifer's a type 4. Nice. Every time Charlie Kirk says something awful, his head gets bigger and his face gets smaller. Charlie Kirk just looks like horrifically evil. Like he really does. He's just like when Charlie Kirk smiles, demons feast on the horror that is his smile. He fans the flames of hell every time he grins. Kitty, yes, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. He was napping over there. I'm grateful for Planned Parenthood. I'm getting my estrogen via them. Yeah, I also have a clinic that is very adamant on maintaining care. So, and I also stockpiled. So, what's your dead name? Yeah, I'm gonna just tell you my dead name. Right. Would you like to waste any more of your time, or are you done with that? Like, do you want to spend more of your time doing something completely stupid and useless and pointless, or do you want to like go do something useful with your life? Do you know of any trans mutual aid groups or resource centers in Ohio or Illinois? Aid groups or resource centers. What I would recommend doing is trying to find something that's like particularly local. So like I would essentially say like it was a bigot queen. Like they're just here to rage bait and stuff. I just thought it was super funny because like that's like such a lazy, stupid. Anyway, just a MAGA troll. Yeah. Yeah, just look for things locally. A lot of the times if you go to a gender clinic or go to a Planned Parenthood or go to anywhere that is providing like gender affirming care or things like that, then you will get you will be in, you know, there'll be like flyers or whatever posted up, and you can help find local support groups or whatever. Freddie, did you get out of the litter box and have poopy on your... Fred, you didn't wipe off your feet very well. That's disgusting. Fred, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh, buddy. Buddy. Buddy, you got poopy litter feet. Ugh. Let me grab a glove and wipe that off real quick. Give me a second. Oh. Ooh. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so does the cat make a mess every stream? Pretty much. Yeah, he's got some stomach issues that have been persisting for a long time, and I've been on a long journey to try to figure out something that works for him. He's on some medication right now that is definitely helping, but unfortunately I swatched so he's on a specific brand of food that is very, very good for cats, and he was on a chicken food, and I was like, maybe he's allergic to chicken, or maybe he's like intolerant to chicken or something, and so I swapped him to a non-chicken food, like of the same brand, same high quality of food, but just like a different protein. And honestly, it got worse. Like his stomach issues got worse. So he definitely was not allergic to chicken, and actually it was like chicken and rice. I think I'm gonna go back to that because I think that with the medicine he's on right now and on the food that he was on before, I think he might be doing pretty good. Like I think he might not be having too much like with issues happening and stuffs and things and whatnot. But we'll have to see. Oh, I forgot the person earlier who was looking for local aid and support groups. I meant to mention my Discord. I have a very large Discord, and yeah, I have a very massive Discord, and it's huge, folks. It's so large and in charge. It's some might even call it girthy, honestly. But we have a lot of people in there. They're very friendly. People like find friends locally or find people locally. So I just pasted a link tree in the chat. If you click the link tree, it'll open up a page, and my Discord link will be there, and you can join. So you're more than welcome to do that. There are people in there. I know some people who have met in real life, like they became friends through my Discord and met in real life and are like good friends and stuff. Like that's super awesome. It makes me happy to see. You might have luck finding people in your local area that are people that live near you, and you might have like we have a channel um meant for organizing locally, so it's a good opportunity to go in there and just like type in that channel and be like, hey, I'm looking for local support groups or aid groups in this state. And then someone in that state can probably reply to you and give you a good idea of what's going on there. So specifically in Ohio, I would say there's Trans Ohio and there's Trans Unity Coalition. I know of those groups. They're like advocacy slash aid groups. Like I know Trans Unity Coalition does quite a few, like does quite a bit of mutual aid and does help people with stuff. And then there are just, you know, local support groups in individual areas. Medical orgs can only resist as much as it affects all their patients at large. Organizations are being forced to decide between protecting funding for HIV treatment at the expense of some GAC. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Mine told me flat out, if I'm ever asked and if you're in state, lie and just say yes. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Yeah, poor Frederick. Poor Frederick. Hi, chat. I'm not religious, but have been praying for people's safety. Hope you're trying to look after yourself. Thank you for that. I appreciate the kind thoughts and everything. Yeah, I am very much trying to do what I can to um live my life. And why isn't he banned, the troll banned? Well, I mean, we can just ignore him. You know, like he's honestly not even being like I've had much worse in my streams before, like rather tame. And also like when people do hate engagement, like it kind of helps me. Oh, Boofed has to go. Oh, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate your active engagement and stuff. And I will see you some other time. Like I don't really care if a right winger is watching me. That only helps my content. Like that helps push me further into the algorithm, helps me get more views, helps me like in general. Um but like if they start saying really unhinged stuff or like slurs or like going really hard, then yeah, we'll ban them. But, you know, there are people, a lot of people are just being stupid, and like you know, they can be stupid, it's whatever. uh yeah, so just ignore them. Just being outside is great form of showing this world we aren't going anywhere, like literally. Yeah, no, for real. Like I'm very openly trans in my life, and so like people I work with and people I meet in my real life, like they know that I'm trans, and it helps humanize us, and it helps bring people onto our side. And I for real wish more people understood the power of that. Like I know as leftists, we're like a little bit scared of society, a little bit timid, you know, just kind of want to stay inside and play my video games or whatever. But like, we need to be willing to organize and get involved at a local level like the right wingers do. There are a lot of right wingers who are very, very, very involved locally. They go to board meetings, they go to uh whatever is available to them, and they uh do open comments and all that other stuff. And yeah, just know that we need to be doing the same kind of stuff. We need to be getting organized, we need to be getting out there, we need to be making our voices heard, we need to be getting involved with local community. All that stuff is vital, because if we just stay in our little hidey holes and hide, then it makes they kind of win in a lot of ways. Like they get to run around and influence the zeitgeist without any pushback or any anyone to speak out against their hatred. Like in Ohio right now, there's a budget bill that's going to probably get signed into law this month, and we are doing everything we can to fight against the transphobic provisions within the state budget bill. But like, if I'm being totally honest with you, like, I don't know how much hope we have to actually stop it. But hey, Fred, off the table. But what we do have hope to do, in what we have done, is made it very apparent, like, the harm that they're doing, instead of just like hiding at home and getting scared and like letting them get away with it. Like, we're trying to hold them accountable and make sure that they know what they're getting themselves into, and make sure that they know what they're trying to put into this budget bill. Like, I stood in front of one of the most bigoted legislatures and all, or like one of the biggest bigoted I stood in front of one of the most bigoted representatives in all of Ohio, and I told him to his face that people will die because of what he's trying to do. Like, I did that, and that is part of what is important to do. It's like important to get out there and let people know that we're real people, and that we are affected by this stuff, and that it is important, and that we need people to see that, you know, like, even if the representatives don't change their mind. There were like hundreds of people at this like, basically at this testimonial thing, and they all heard our testimony. Like, and like, people afterwards, there were people coming up to me saying, thank you for being here, thank you for speaking out, thank you for making this public, and making people aware of what's going on, because a lot of people probably weren't aware of how bad the stuff in the Ohio budget bill is. But we called it out, you know. And there's like power in that too. But yeah, do what you can. Do what you can. We are stronger and gayer than ever. That is so true. Just kind of existing as real normal people helps break all the Fox News stereotypes. That's often their only exposure to trans people, so things can change when they actually meet one of us. Yes, I have seen that happen in my own life time and time again. There's been like one person who's just been extremely hateful and weird, and did not grow from meeting me. But like, I've seen like dozens of people learn and grow about trans people. See ya, Amber. Just wanted to check in. Been feeling busy or dizzy. I hope you are, you know, feeling better soon, or things are hopefully getting better for you at some point. You know, get some rest. Sorry things have been so rough for you lately. My aunt tried to talk herself back into hating trans people after talking casually with a transgender cashier at Walmart. I found deeply disturbing my aunt wanted to hang onto her hate. Well, okay, so like, that's part of understanding people. People have confirmation bias. So once someone convinces themselves of a position, they are extremely hard to talk out of that. Like people don't want to be evil, and people don't want to be wrong. And so what ends up happening is, when someone, you know, believes something, they look for rationale in order to believe what they believe, without believing that they're an evil person. Like, a lot of these trans trans hate groups label themselves as like feminist organizations or something, because like, they can't believe what they believe in the most authentic way. They have to delude themselves into thinking that they're fighting for like women's rights or something, when they're not. Like, that's just a front, that's just a cover, that's just a delusion. But that's what people do. It's called confirmation bias. And so people will seek to confirm what they already believe, rather than try to convert that belief into something new and whatever. And that's why, like, when you find someone who's willing to learn and grow, like, that is a special thing. But I just like I don't know, like, people, like, growth is not linear. So sometimes people regress, sometimes people progress. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that your aunt was being a crappy person. I think being out as trans invites people to make rude comments and ask weird questions. they should have been raised better, but they weren't. For my part, I try to answer their questions in good faith. I've never like people in my life do not, yeah, they ask some weird questions, but it's always from a place of like genuine curiosity and ignorance, where like the reason why the question is weird is because they're super ignorant and they don't understand how weird the question is. But I've not had someone just made like, no one's like made rude comments to my face just like at work or whatever. Like people have just been like, oh Fred, you got like litter trapped in your little foot. You got litter trapped in your foot, Fred. Okay. Like I'm sure people are rude, and like it is a thing that happens, but like I think being openly trans is not necessarily like a net negative thing, is what I'm saying. Like I think it's a net positive. Go to city council meetings, y'all, especially to advocate for more people focused infrastructure instead of a car focus. Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with that. Like the area I live in, the area that I live in is super unfriendly to like bikes and stuff, and it really sucks. Like it's not walkable. You can't use a bike. You have to have a car. It's super annoying. I hate it so much. I wish that were a thing. Y'all are the ones out here for the people, and the government needs to listen. That's their job, right? Uh, if you tell it how it is, many cis people will empathize, and I've seen the realization in them. Very few pride themselves on being hateful. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I've like at work, I've been able to talk about the stuff that's going on in Ohio, and I've been able to like discuss how horrible the attacks are. And I've had people who are genuinely like decently conservative be like, wow, that's horrible. You have a right to exist. You have a right to be yourself and live your life the way that you're living your life. And like I've had people who I would who I would think would be kind of like they're very religious or they're very whatever. I live in a very red area, so almost everyone that I interact with is on some level conservative. Being a left winger and where I live is extremely uncommon. And so like, like I've seen it in real life. I've seen the progress happen, and I've seen people empathize with me. I've seen people realize how horrible things are for people like me and for our community. And they, it also feels good when people like when non-left wing people have your back. It kind of makes you realize that like if we just had more education and more representation, and we're able to humanize ourselves on a grand scale, like pretty much everyone would just be like on our side. And there would be it would be such an insanely small minority of people who were uh resistantly bigoted, and like, you know what I mean? Like I did a segment at the end of my last video where I talked about historical figures, and one of the running themes within these stories of historical figures was like all of these people lived in a time where being trans was like illegal, or like so taboo that like you would be likely killed for it or whatever. And like all of the people that knew these trans people like had empathy for them, like vouched for them, and fought for them. Like there were people who fought for this trans man's right to be honored in death, because he was in the military during the Civil War. And so he yeah, he would his fellow um service members fought for him to like keep, to not be dead named in death and stuff like that. And this was during a time where, this stuff was extremely taboo. But like meeting a trans person humanized uh trans people to those people and created empathy. Keep in mind, my aunt is legitimately bothered too by the prospect of losing faith in Trump. It's almost religious in nature to her. Trump is her everything. Yeah, there are a lot of Trump supporters who are like that. I think they did a poll in recent history that was like, how much do you trust Trump? And people were saying that they trusted Trump more than like religious leaders and more than like the Bible or whatever. Like like they trusted Trump more than Jesus, and that's just like extremely concerning behavior. It's like, Jesus. Confirmation bias and simultaneous cognitive dissonance. Yeah, and people with cognitive dissonance behave in extremely erratic, neurotic, horrible, scary, weird ways to try to like um work back from the conclusions to like soothe their cognitive dissonance. They have to like basically convince themselves that what they're doing is right. Like it's really weird. And then the cognitive dissonance becomes entirely subconscious. It becomes something that just floats below the surface, waiting for an opportunity to manifest in their life. I mean, the first thing one of my former coworkers asked when I came out was, "So are you getting the surgery?" Right. And that is a very weird question. And that's a very awkward thing to ask. And that's just weird. Like, right. Like, I get that. But like, I think that most of that is born out of ignorance and people in America being very emotionally immature. And like in America is like one of the only places on earth where like people would ask a question like that's that forward without feeling some level of shame or embarrassment. Like, honestly, that has more to do with the corrosion of proper society than like transphobia. I think people just tend to be really unable to think of others or have some level of like social consciousness. Like, social consciousness has sort of died over the past 20-30 years or whatever. And a lot of that is kind of good in the sense that like societal pressures aren't as powerful as they used to be, because like we have the internet and we have abilities to connect with other societies and cultures that are different from ours. So it kind of like broadens everyone's general understanding of how the world works and how people are in other situation, contexts, or cultures. But at the same time, like, people have become incredibly lazy and stupid due to the help of technology creating systems that allow people to not like use their brains or whatever. Anyway, uh I live in a very Republican county, but it's not MAGA and is LGBT supporting, so never hear anything rude or misgendering. Actually, someone just did. They asked your dead name. It's at this point that I try to explain to them why we don't want to share that kind of thing, how we moved on beyond it. Well, okay, but the person in chat, that's not representative of someone in real life, and that's something that I think that our community actually has to be very aware of, like, in this age, is that like the way that people behave and talk to us online is not representative of the majority of people that you will engage with in real life. Like, most people that you engage with in real life are not these like social brain rot internet trolls who have like negative charisma and like sit in their mom's basement and hate people that they've never met before in real life. Like, I think that confusing those two things is what makes people think that like they're gonna walk out the door and get mistreated by every single person being visibly trans or whatever. So like, yeah, what that person asked was rude and whatever, but that was kind of the point for them. Like, they're trying to be rude. Most people are not trying to be rude. Most people are just so ignorant that when they ask something, they're like, like, I've had someone ask me about the surgery too, right? But like, and you can disagree with me if you want, Quinn. Like, I'm not here to be um the sole authority on truth or whatever. I'm just telling you what I think from my perspective. my local town has gotten so bad as to ban bikes in town. That is insanity. I genuinely oh my god, that's so frustrating. I wish America were not so car centric. It drives me crazy. I have an electric unicycle that I really like to ride, and honestly, like, I have to have an electric unicycle that can go at least 45 miles per hour because there are no bike paths near my house. And so I have to ride at least 45 miles per hour to keep up with traffic to feel safe on the road, which is really fast and kind of scary. And so, like, I can't freaking, I just wish that I had a bike path. I wish there were more sidewalks. I wish that there were like ways to get places that didn't involve hopping in an extremely expensive death machine to get where I want to go, you know? Leah, help, I'm too stupid to understand what your shirt says. It's a Jenny's shirt. It just says OHIO and then Jenny's in the last O. So it's like, I got it from a Jenny's here in Ohio. You know, like I see there are people in Spain who have electric unicycles and they can just go anywhere they want because like there are bike paths everywhere, and like you just can go wherever you want and there's no restrictions and it's very free. You can cross like all of Barcelona like in on a bike or an electric vehicle, and it's wonderful. And it's just like America is not like that. Like we are just so far away from that. It makes me so mad. The stream title is on point, by the way. Thank you, Crotchy. 80 degrees, almost 10 p.m. Oh yeah, the heat lately has been horrific. Honestly, like when the sun goes down and it's still like 80 degrees, I hate it. Like, I'm a night person, so like when it's really hot during the day, usually it's cooler at night, but it's just been so persistently hot, so persistently hot. I've had so many more bad interactions in person than you have online, not gonna lie. Really? That's genuinely surprising. Many of those people are afraid to make eye contact with us IRL, let alone say something that they would online. I walk everywhere, which is good for my calves, but bad for getting anywhere in short order. Forgive me, but my experience has been working with an overwhelming number of conservative men. Yeah, I mean, I work with a lot of conservative people too. And I have had bad experiences before. And I'm sure that in some fields it's worse than others. Like if if you're in the military, or if you're working in construction, or if you're working in like as an electrician or something like that, then I'm sure that things are a lot worse in the sense that the people there are a lot more propagandized and a lot more ignorant, and those people are more likely to be the kind of people that you will see online saying horrible, stupid stuff. I'm not American. I feel like that's important to put there. Yeah, Taddy, if you don't mind, like, what country do you live in? I am more I can't speak than most, but it is a defense mechanism. I see. If I didn't have an AC, I'd be lying in a puddle of sweat right now. Yeah. New Zealand? Oh, okay. I mean, I've heard some weird things about New Zealand. We're like a little bit of an ableist culture there. Not gonna lie, that's what I've heard about things. Is like they're kind of weird about autism and kind of weird about some other things. Like, it seems like a nice place to live, but it also seems like they have some weird social norms about stuff, and I don't know. I'm a construction worker. The trades are full of old guys who use slurs like breathing, but it's changing. In 10 years, the electricians, plumbers, and installers will all be woke. Yeah, well, I mean, it almost sort of has to be that way because, like, a lot of the generations that are moving into middle age are generally more liberal and progressive than the generations that have traditionally been uh like it's just a shift in the zeitgeist. And so like the trades are inherently going to reflect that shift. I still think that there would be um I don't think anything over 25 miles per hour is safe without motorcycle gear. Yeah, and that's why I wear motorcycle gear when I ride. I wear a full motorcycle helmet. I wear wrist guards. I wear a lazy rolling armored jacket, which has shoulder, elbow, and back pads. I wear Leah knee pads, which are like the best dirt biking knee pads that you can buy. Like I'm like kitted up. Like I have fallen off my wheel. Not the one that I just got recently, but my older wheel. I have fallen off of it going like 20, almost 30 miles per hour. And I've been fine. No, and that's not like something that happens super frequently. I want to make clear. Like that's not something that happens like all the time or whatever. Like I did like 500 miles on my first wheel, and like the specific fall that I'm talking about happened when I was within the first 100 miles of the wheel. So I was still getting used to riding it, and it was my first wheel. And yeah, it was just a stroke of bad luck. Um I would agree it's very hard to even get healthcare on much EEN for people born here. It's a very safe country still. Yeah, like the crime rates and everything seem really good in New Zealand. Like it seems like a very nice place to live, but it just seemed like the society is like a little bit ableist and stuff. I work as a medication technician for the elderly of a memory care facility. I've come across insane things, but I've also come across heartwarming and politically hopeful things. What do you ride? I ride an electric unicycle. It's called a Veteran Lynx, or like a Leaper Kim Lynx. The company changed their name, so they used to be called Veteran, but now they're called Leaper Kim. Used to drive a moped. One time, a big old truck backed up on top of me. That's horrifying. Yeah, riding in traffic with cars is horrible. Absolutely horrible. Like I wish I had bike paths near me. Wish I had sidewalks near me. But it is what it is. You guys wanna Oh, look at that cute baby boy. Look at him napping. He's such a cute baby boy. Yes, he is. Oh, he's such a good boy. No. Oops. That has more to do with the fact that many of the left-wing politicians will cross the aisle to meet the right on issues, thinking that we'll get more right-leaning votes their way. Yeah, that kind of thinking really needs to die. Freddie Peak, no poops. Not yet on stream. He has been on a new round of medication and stuff that has seemingly been helping. I mean, he's still having accidents, but he is having less of them. And hopefully in the next couple months, I'm gonna find the winning formula. Like the stuff he's on right now is definitely helping. I think I'm gonna swap him back to the chicken and rice on top of that, which I think he was doing better on that. And so I hopefully that'll have him at a point where he's not really having accidents anymore. But if that's not enough, then I'm probably gonna also start him on prednisone, because I heard some really good things about prednisone for cats with like IBS and stuff. And I genuinely believe that what's going on is partly like an IBS issue. I got hit by a car once while biking, but they weren't going very fast. It's unfortunate that that's such a reality in America. I really hate that. I wish that America would invest more in like infrastructure and like walkable, rideable infrastructure, not just like let's have 4-lane massive main roads flooded with death machines. I wish we could just have trains. Yeah. Yeah, like I just wish public transportation in America was better. Like if you've been to Europe, then you know what it's like. Like I've been to Germany. I know what it's like over there. They got it. Like they do not need cars. Cars are an extreme luxury in those countries because you literally do not need them. Like you just do not need it. And if I did not need a car, I would choose not to have one. Like I don't want to have a car. I I am forced to have a car. He's he wants to make it seem like he's napping, but he's not napping. And so I'm slowly blinking at him a little bit. Here we go. Go. Now he's giving me kisses. You need something to transport your stuff. I mean, you can always like do a rental if you need to move. Railways are not the solution. They're part of the solution. Strong Towns is an organization that gets people to go to city council meetings, draft legislation for more pedestrian focused infrastructure. That's cool. That's very cool. Cuteness overload. Yeah, he is such a precious baby. He's such a precious baby. Such a precious baby. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? No, Fred, I don't have room on my lap. I'm sorry. When I had a normal chair, he used to sit on my lap. But I don't have a normal chair anymore. I have a kneeling chair. And so he constantly tries to find a way to sit on my lap. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Because of the kneeling chair. 1700s technology is the solution for mass transport. It's part of it. I mean, like railroads have seen innovation past, like it's not like high-speed rail doesn't exist. Like high-speed rail exists and is useful. So like I don't understand why we would ignore entirely that as a part of a very small part of it. I mean, Europe does all of the above. Europe has bike paths, pedestrian lanes, sidewalks, buses, trams, trains, all of it. Fred, I'm sorry, I don't have room. Where are you gonna sit? Where are you gonna sit? It's not Fred. Hey, Skylar. You're okay. It's okay to be late. Much of the US outside the NYC, a car is something you depend on. It's not a luxury, it's a requirement. Exactly. Like you absolutely have to have a car. If you don't have a car, you probably can't work, so no money. All paths lead to depression. That is a function of capitalism. There's like someone I work with who doesn't have a car. He lives in an apartment like a mile away from work and he walks to work every day. But that's not super common for everyone. And it's not really good for him either. Like not having a car is a really big hindrance for him. Would be nice if we had that DC to Philly to Pittsburgh to Cleveland high-speed project 2 years ago. It got ripped apart by America's favorite political party in favor of tax cuts. Yeah. Railroad traffic can be plentiful, but it usually takes a month in advance for products to get anywhere. Yeah. Car capacity per lane, 2,000 passengers per hour. Rail capacity, 20,000 passengers per hour. Look in the EU and Asia, train is the primary transit for beyond the range of biking, and they are building more lines as the population spreads. Yeah. I think half the population sees mass transit as only benefiting people in urban environments. How do we make it benefit rural areas too, says the right? By building it. Like, how do we make it work for everybody? By putting money into it and like funding it. Like, Nova, your bearded dragon got out and you can't find her. No, I really hope you find her. That's so sad. No. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not good. I'm a painting apprentice, so I'm constantly moving to different job sites. Bicycle, e-bike, motorized scooter, motorcycle, lots of cheap transportation if you're willing to learn to fix your own. Yeah, like my electric unicycle is basically an e-bike. Basically. And it has great range. Like if there were like more bike paths and sidewalks, I would not need my car to get to and from work. Like pretty much the only thing I would need a car for is like a camping trip, but I could just rent one, which would be cheaper than owning a car. Electric unicycle, yeah, it's a thing that I have that I ride. It's very fun. It feels like a superpower. It's also a bit scary, but they're extremely. It's okay. I'm sorry, Bobtailed. I gotta correct you. It's not a one wheel. It's very there. Electric unicycles and one wheels are different things. I'm gonna be a little autistic about this right now. They're not the same thing, and they're easily confused by people. Let me find an example of both here. A lot of the pictures that pop up are weird. Okay, let me move chat out of the way here. This basketball one, that is so funny. That's so ridiculous, honestly. Oh, King Song made that? That's ridiculous. So here are examples of electric unicycles. This is what they look like. This is the form factor. You got pedals on the side. You got one big wheel, battery packs on the side, a headlight. Usually nowadays they have suspension as well. And here is a one wheel. You'll notice that the pedals are on the front and the back, and it has a massive small diameter tire that's very wide. And you ride this one, you ride a one wheel like a skateboard, and you ride an electric unicycle very differently. The my I key is like not working properly. This is the one that I got. It's called a Lynx, a Leaper Kim Lynx. This is the one I got. It's a very, very powerful vehicle. Can't address mass transit funding disparities without addressing racism, the knock-on effects of redlining. True. I wish everyone owned a UFO. UFO? You would have to spend so much money in urban areas first, neglecting a generation of rural voters entirely, and being the devil's advocate here. Live in a city, would love to see great transit. I mean, yes, rural people are going to be affected by infrastructure less, by the very nature of living somewhere rural. And Like, I feel like if you live somewhere rural, that just is sort of a fact of reality that you have to accept. Like, you're farther from hospitals, you're farther from everything because you're farther away. Like, that's the kind of the thing about rural areas. And that sucks for them, but like, there's no real perfect solution there. Uh I've never even heard of an electric unicycle before. It's a pretty niche hobby. We just need to make vehicles cheaper and safer for pedestrians. Yeah. Like a one wheel, I'm not up on all the terms of classification on each model. You're fine. You're fine. It's just like I just get a little I'm just very particular about that because like people constantly call electric unicycles one wheels, and one wheels are very different. And honestly, if you ask me, one wheels are very inferior products. Like the one wheel, which looks like a skateboard, this small diameter wide tire is really terrible for bumps. Like there's no suspension here. It has less range. It can't go as fast. And if you hit a bump, it's like it's a lot more dangerous. There's nothing really locking you in place here. Whereas with an electric unicycle, you'll notice that a lot of these pictures have like pads on the side of it where people put their legs, and that locks you into the wheel and gives you like a way to brace the wheel. And also like this one has suspension, and having suspension is just like important. And also electric unicycles have more range and more speed. So like I'm just picky about that because it's a common mix of like people commonly use one wheel as a classification for all like electric unicycles and one wheels, but so like a one wheel but slightly less terrifying. More terrifying if you consider the fact that like you can go faster. Like it really just depends. Like one wheels, most people that ride a one wheel, they're going like 5 to 10 miles per hour and they're just cruising down the sidewalk or whatever. Electric unicycles, like they can go fast enough where you can take them like on the street, which requires obviously more safety gear and stuff. I live 10 minutes away from where I work. If there was a bike lane leading to that, I would bike to work. Yeah, no, I feel that entirely. That's how I feel about my electric unicycle. I would just ride it to work if I had the opportunity. Pedals, how do you even balance that thing? So electric unicycles, the motor balances it front to back, so you only have to balance side to side. Like it has like a motor in it, and that motor keeps it from going front or back, and so you only have to balance side to side. Is how that works. Electric unicycles are self-balancing. You don't need to do it yourself. One wheel, you have to do that. Yeah, one wheels are not self-balancing. The reason we are so obsessed with cars is because our culture values the concept of ownership in every section of our society. Nobody wants to share. Yeah, there's like this thing in Western society where it's like radical independence or whatever, self-dependency or whatever, and it's stupid. I mean, being rural in the first place is choosing to be in the boonies. You can't complain about cities getting things first. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I mean, not everyone chooses to live rural. Like, obviously, some people are just sort of there because it's where they grew up or whatever. But how would we carry our stuff without a car? Again, you could rent a car. That would be way cheaper than owning a car. If you really needed to move like a lot of stuff, you could rent a vehicle. But like for most use cases, like how often do you need a truck, right? Like how often are you moving things that are so big that you need a car? I'm like 30, 60 minutes drive from work options for in person. That's if driving. If biking, it's like 1 to 4 hours. Any suggestions for an e-bike, not a unicycle? I don't ride e-bikes, so I can't give you any recommendations on it, on what's a good e-bike. Get a big wheel from the 40s. You'll be about the same height as a semi-truck from maximum view. I think groceries should just be a publicly funded delivery service. Everyone gets what they need, brother. There are a lot of love your putty tat. Oh, thank you. Freddie loves all of you as well. How fast can an electric unicycle go? My electric unicycle can go up to like 60, 62 miles per hour max speed. Comfortably, not comfortably necessarily, but you can cruise at 55 miles per hour on my unicycle. The fastest I've gone is like 38 miles an hour. Hey, I got my name change approved. Just wanted, waiting on the order. You helped me get there. Yay. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so happy for you. That's really awesome. Congratulations. That's a big step. I cried when I got my name change approved. It was such a euphoric moment in my life. I really hope that you're also feeling the joy from there, and thank you for sharing that with us. I'm glad to have helped you with that in some small way. But you did the work. Like, you did the hard work of going out and doing it. So I'm proud of you. We could probably have less stuff. Our consumption habits are influenced by companies advertising. A less is more attitude is good for the planet. I agree with that. I agree with that. Ugh. My back. Your specific particularity on electric conveyance is cute. Thanks. I'm glad you think so, because I think it just makes me seem very autistic. They are, but other parts of the system. My utility trailer is storing branches. I have not yet hauled to the dump yet. I'm not saying ban all cars. No, of course, no one here is saying to ban all cars. That is scary. Yeah, going that going like 40. I like when I was going 38, like that's as fast as I can comfortably go. It's scary. Like you feel the wind, you feel the speed, and you're like, holy crap, this is very fast. Like this is really fast. There's nothing wrong with cars, but having vehicles that are high performance for everyone that barely drives 50 miles a day is ridiculous. The world traveled fine at 100 horsepower. Yeah, no, for real. Like, I think it's fine to have a car. People in Europe have cars. They just don't use them very often. Like, they don't use them literally every single day to do every single thing and go to every single place. Like, a car is more of like a road trip vehicle, or more of like I have to transport a lot of big stuff vehicles. 38 on a thing like that. That sounds a little scary. Yeah, that's why I wear safety gear. The judge that approved my name change misgendered me. I'm sorry to hear that, Skylar. That's unfortunate. Mine was over the phone, still was overjoyed. Hey, that's still, I'm so proud of you for doing it. I think electric cars are decent, although the materials and production methods are still environmentally problematic. Yeah, no, that's true. And I don't think electric cars are like the perfect solution. I actually think that PEVs are like e-bikes, electric unicycles, those kinds of things. I think that those are the future, because like if we could all just take mopeds everywhere and all just take like smaller vehicles everywhere, there would be less massive accidents. There would be less like fatalities from these massive vehicles that were flying around at high speeds. Like if cities were built with bike paths as the primary, like not primary, but as a big focus, and sidewalks, then people could just, have like an e-bike, have like an electric unicycle, have a scooter or whatever, and get most places that they need to go. And then, like cars could exist, but be used like as a secondary method of transportation. I like high performance cars because I'm a car enthusiast, and that's totally fine. You're allowed to have hobbies and interests and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just like I think it's literally like what we're talking about is not whether people love cars or not. What we're talking about is that our society is entirely reliant on cars for everything, and that like cars become more of a necessity than anything else. Uh like and that's just, I think that that's not cool. Like that puts people at a massive disadvantage, because being involved, like someone said earlier, to have a job you need to have a car, and in order to have a car, like it just sort of puts you in this rat race of capitalism, where like you need to be making money because you need to fund this expensive high powered vehicle in order to get to your job, to make money, to fund things. So like it puts you in the rat race. And like if we're charging my electric unicycle costs me like a quarter or something, and that would take me, and that's like a quarter of electricity. No, Fred, don't poop. You've been doing so good. Don't do it. Go to the litter box. Go to the litter box, Fred. Been doing so good. Go to the litter box, Fred. I see you doing weird things with your butt. You're scaring me. He's scaring me. He's making me nervous. Maybe even enclosed e-bikes or mopeds for hotter, colder, hot climates. I mean, like I can just wear a coat or like wear lighter safety gear if it's really hot. The fact that you can link depression to not having a car is a system failure. Yeah, true. You can modify electric cars, but it's the software, the hardware. The problem is inclement weather like rain, hail, sleet, snow. Well, yeah, inclement weather affects cars too, though. And I would say that if anything, if the infrastructure existed for e-bikes and scooters and all that other stuff, pedestrian travel, then you would have like less accidents that are fatal. Like if you have a car accident when it's raining or snowing or hailing, your potential for risk of life is more extreme. Like if you have proper safety gear and proper stuff, then like you don't need to really like crashing isn't as much of a devastating, it's not as much of a like a life risking thing. It's just like, oh, that sucks that I crashed. And it's less likely to hurt other people as well. And also, like, would it really kill capitalism for people to have a day off? Oh no, Fred, you fart or did Fred, go to the litter box. Go to the litter box. I said he was making me nervous, and he did it. He shit it on the floor. God damn it. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It was like a small accident, so it actually wasn't that hard to clean up, but I still wanted to take a little break to clean it up, and then I went to the bathroom and whatever. So I am back now. Freddie had a small accident on the floor. His litter box is like in a closet over there, and it's like sliding door closet, so it's actually kind of big. So I just put him in there and shut the doors, and I'm just gonna leave him in there for a few minutes, and hopefully he does his business. Cause like honestly, I've started to notice that like when he's about to have an accident, he starts doing this weird thing where he seems like he like I don't know how to describe it. He looks like he's about to shit himself. Like seconds before he craps himself, he does this like weird posture where he's like, and he like sticks his butt down. And it's like he feels it coming like seconds before it's about to happen. Yeah, he like tenses up, yeah. And then suddenly he's like shitting on the floor. So that's what I was seeing earlier. I was like, oh no, he's about to poop. And I probably should have just thrown him in the litter box at that point. And I think next time that's what I'm gonna do. When I see him acting all funky, like he's gonna poop everywhere, I'll just take him to the litter box, sit him in there, let him, IBS poo shivers. Yeah, like it's got to be something like that, basically. Someone suggested prednisone to me. Actually, a couple people did. Sorry if you can hear the lint roller. I don't know if it's annoying or not, but I noticed I'm covered in Freddy hair, so just kind of lint rolling a little bit. But I just wanted to say, like, prednisone is probably the next thing I'm gonna try. If I swap him back to the chicken and rice on this specific treatment and he doesn't completely get better, then I'm just gonna have to try medication. My dog used to make a face that made him look like the House Speaker Mike Johnson before he'd let go, and then he'd look incredibly guilty. The way you described that is so funny. I wish people would stop making vehicle ownership a moral judgment. Culture, employment, geography, economics, accessibility, and personal circumstances all affect the need for a car. That is so true. So true. So true. So true. I'm constantly impressed by the intelligence and of my chat. I watch a lot of content. I watch a lot of content creators who live stream, and a lot of them like constantly shit on their chat and talk down to their chat, and like the chat becomes very reactionary, and like my chat is like the total opposite of that. Like when we have streams, like we're constantly engaged with this like interesting discussion with nuanced points and people bringing up devil advocacy and stuff like that, like mentioning counterpoints and discussing the responses to that, and it's all very like great stuff. And I think it's kind of funny. Like I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. Like a lot of other content creators don't seem to have that experience with their YouTube chat. And actually to the point where like I see some content creators refer to their YouTube chat as like the cesspool, like the untouchables, like the like people that are so not worth interacting with that they're like worth avoiding, basically. And I find that really weird because I have like, yes, sometimes we get people in chat who are very reactionary, who are very like uninformed, who are whatever. Like that happens, and I'll debate those people, and I'll put them on blast just a little bit to help them realize why they're wrong. But like it's just really interesting. It's just so interesting that like the people who are interacting with my channel are clearly a certain kind of people. Like they're thoughtful, have critical thinking skills, maybe a little bit of media literacy, like I think you just kind of tend to like different people attract different energies. And I don't know, it makes me really happy that my community is so full of very thoughtful, engaged, kind, nuanced people. Like I love that. So I just wanted to take a second to talk about that with you all. That like I really love my community. I really, really appreciate all the support from people lately, and genuinely, like my Discord and everything. It brings me a lot of joy and gratitude in my life. Like there are people in my Discord who have met and become friends, and like people have gone to protests, people have run for local office, people have gotten involved with advocacy. Like I, you know, I put out there was an event that Trans Unity Coalition did, and a member of our community came out and like did like a whole day of lobbying with me just because I said like please do this. Like I find a lot of that really incredible, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to be here and for the opportunity that everyone has given me. Oh, here, let me let Freddie out. Freddie, go poop. You go. Did you? I have to have like blankets on everything because like if I don't have blankets everywhere, it all ends up covered in poop. So like it's so much easier to have blankets everywhere and just wash those and then clean the other spots. Average when I was talking about bad chatters, someone said average Asmongold chatter. Yeah. You get the audience that you foster. I agree with that a lot. Some people beef with chat just like for the comedy of it. And I do that a little bit too. Like sometimes I lean into like, you know, a certain chatter or whatever, and I try to make it a little funny and engaging and stuff because it does really help with my engagement. Like engaging with chat is honestly like so good for like when I'm streaming. I don't usually look at the view count. Like I don't look at the concurrent viewers because I find that to be really stressful. But like when I'm engaging with chat back and forth constantly, that's when my view count is the highest. My view count starts dying off the second that I'm doing something else. If I'm reacting to a video, if I'm playing a video game, whatever else I'm doing, my views just drop and sit at like a certain level of people who are just watching me to watch me. But like when I'm engaging with chatters and when I'm going back and forth and I'm reading what you guys are saying and I'm responding and maybe arguing with someone, that is when like my views just like like they go up because I think people click on and they see me doing that and they like it like captures their attention. Basically, it's not just someone ranting to a camera, it's someone who's like literally engaging with someone in real time, and people are more interested in that. Sometimes I tell or wait, sometimes I explain to someone I own my own business, and there are people that roll their eyes because I don't have a real job. Well, that takes so much courage to be like an entrepreneur, to like try to do your own thing. Like I envy people that have that kind of like mentality. Like I try to be like that. Like I try to be a go-getter or whatever. But like for real, like running my own business, that sounds so horrifying. It sounds like so much. You get the audience you foster. I already read that. When you create a space with love, you get love back. When it's trash, etc. Yeah, true. I try to talk as a chat member in a way I would want someone to talk to me if I streamed. I feel bad for streamers who have a gross chat. I agree with that too. Like when chat is really antagonistic or just like very vapid or whatever, I find that really frustrating. So it's cool. And I think people see how I interact with my chat and it makes them like want to come in and be authentic and engage with me on a real level. And I've even seen that with people that I disagree with. Like someone will come in with a really hot take or come in with like a really strong disagreement, and I'll have the argument or have the discussion with them. And like by the end of it, a lot of them are like, okay, I see where you're coming from. We still disagree, but like I appreciate that you were being reasonable to me. And so like I think when someone like crashes out constantly at their chat, or like when someone belittles people a lot, or like when someone refuses to engage in a reasonable, rational discussion, it causes people who are authentic and people who don't want Like people who want to engage in good faith don't want to deal with that and are turned off by that, and it like causes your chat to like self-select and become the kind of people who want to just have pointless like point scoring arguments basically. I find it kind of funny. I find it kind of sad. All the streams in which I'm living are the best I've ever had. As if being on a company payroll is the only way for people to allowed to make money. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Owning your own business is really brave, and I think that's really awesome. When the chat is loving and friendly, then it makes it less appealing to hateful folks. Yep. Sometimes I feel like certain streams, I'm not gonna shout out names, specifically because people want to fight chat. Sometimes it can lead to good debates and discussions, but most of the time it just leads to animosity. Yeah, I get that. We are a high CPM population. The creators we have right now are such strong people. Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate how authentic of a YouTuber you are. Thank you. I try to be as real as I can. Like, obviously, I have to keep a level of distance from chat and from my YouTube stuff. Like, you guys don't see me at like every possible moment, or like I can't like share my exact location. I can't like go through my day-to-day whatever. Like, there is a level of distance that I keep on with my channel on purpose. But like, you know, I try to be as authentic in my presentation as possible. Like, I'm not being paid to say anything that I say. Like, I say things that I genuinely believe, and I only defend positions that I genuinely believe. And I try to just be real with everything, like real with chat and real with my content. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy flatulence humor, but anything past that is a blank stare of those being Stuart saying, "Look what I can do." Certain kind of people. Good thing blankets are comfy. Folex is the best carpet cleaner. That's what I use. I use Folex. It's incredible. If you've never used Folex, like Folex is the only thing that has saved my life during this time with Freddie. Tap the like button. Thank you for that, Bobtailed. Yes, please like the stream. That would help out a lot. I appreciate that a bunch. We have a link tree pinned in chat. If you're in chat, you'll see a pinned chat there from me, and it's my link tree. If you click that, it pops open a thing. You can join the Discord. We've got a friendly Discord, lots of people in there, community. It's always good to find people to chat with, people to engage with, people that are friendly, that, you know, especially during these trying times. So I would love to see some of you in there. I try to chat in there as often as I can. Usually I check in there at least once a day. But I try to jump in and chat about things that are relevant or whatever when I can. People like to hear talking. It just puts a lot of pressure on the streamer to keep talking. Yeah, no, like streaming is a very specific skill of like, you have to lock in. Like I hate this so much. You know how Trump does like the weave, he calls it, where he just like goes from topic to topic to position, and he just goes and goes and goes. Like, that's kind of what you have to do as a streamer. Like, that's how you keep people's attention, is you keep like a continuous stream of thought and discussion going, where it engages someone to a point where they don't want to click away, they don't want to go do it. Like, it locks someone's attention in. And for people that aren't really, like, when you're second screen content, people are using you as like an ASMR, like the certain tone or rhythm of the way that you speak is like a kind of ASMR to people, and it's like soothing and stuff like that. And trust me, I totally understand, because I listen to a lot of YouTube myself. I love listening to podcasts. I love like having someone on, even if I'm only half paying attention. I find it very relaxing to have someone talking, because I feel like, you know, people are very social creatures, and we're not really designed to live in an environment where you're devoid of people talking. Like, if you're sitting in a room by yourself with no one around, it feels kind of uncomfortable in a way. That can be soothed by having someone, like if you call a friend and talk to them, or if you pull up a YouTube video and you watch it, or if you you start a movie and you watch a movie and there's people talking in the movie. Like it creates a sense of like, oh, I'm doing the thing with people around me. And I think that that's like almost like a basic survival instinct as a human, because being alone is inherently very risky in a natural state for a human. Humans are very, vulnerable to predators uh, by themselves without any assistance or help. And so being by yourself or without a group triggers sort of like this innate survival reflex where it's like, yo, you're gonna get eaten by a tiger or something. Whew. But it is very hard to like I just talked for like several minutes straight, and it's hard to do that. It's hard to do it. It's hard to do it. Hi everybody. Hi there. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry, but welcome. I spent this morning encouraging a mute to start a YouTube channel. She was afraid she couldn't do it because she can't speak, but I'm going to show her that it's not the case. Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Pork Chop Express says you're a good bean. Don't have contempt for the audience is old rule for a reason. Yeah. No, I think that's true. Thank you for that, by the way. Good faith goes a long way. Both chatter and chatted at. Trolls are the worst things on the internet. The version of yourself we do get to see is authentic. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't get to see all of my life or anything because I feel like that would be parasocial and weird. But I do try to come at this in the most authentic way possible. I saw the bottle in the background. What bottle? What are you referring? Oh, the Folex bottle. Okay, that's what you mean. Okay, I forgot about that. Bust out the toilet humor and I'm laughing. I don't know, my brain never grew out of it. I mean, humor is humor. Funny is funny. So join the Discord so I can steal your memes. Have a great night, Leah and chat. Oh, see you, Chastity. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. About 15 years ago, I used to have a channel. I love to post videos, but I'm too sensitive and couldn't deal with the transphobia. Don't exactly have a face for radio either. In my opinion, people just suck. I get that. It can be discouraging. And trust me, like, I get a lot of negative comments too. People say a lot of really unhinged, hurtful things to me, but as a type 8, stuff like that doesn't make me feel bad about myself. It makes me angry at other people. So it sort of fuels a social rage that I then have to deal with in other ways by like, just like there are ways for me to counterbalance that negative feeling that builds up in me where it's like a genuine hatred of hatred, if that makes sense, which like duh, but like, like I know some people when they get the negative comments, it's very easy to internalize it and it's very easy to let that stuff affect you. And I'm not saying it doesn't affect me, because trust me, it does affect me. And I try to read like all my comments. So sometimes I see the really dumb things that some of the transphobes say, and like it grinds my gears. Like, it really does. It really, really, like, sometimes it really pisses me off and it upsets me. But like, you just gotta find a way to deal with that. Like, I don't know why this helped me so much, but once I had a professor who was talking about that kind of stuff. It was a philosophy class. And he basically said, like, you just when people are coming at you with anger and hatred, you just have to sort of treat them like they're a dog barking. I don't even know what that is. Barking at you. Like, when a dog is barking at you, you don't really take it personally, and you don't really like, it doesn't like emotionally harm you, even though they're being aggressive towards you, because it's a dog. Dogs bark. And so like, I feel like if you come to expect the hatred at a certain level, which I know it sucks, and I know that's really not a perfect solution, but like, if you understand that what they're doing is this gross vitriolic hate spewing nonsense, then it sort of takes the personal attack out of it, and it makes it more of just like, oh, they're just doing this really sad thing where they're like spewing hate at another person because they hate themselves or something. Your lashes are popping. You switch mascara. I swapped mascaras maybe a couple months ago. The one that I was using was transferring a lot. Like it was like I have very hooded eyes. I'm sure you can tell, but my eyes are like giga hooded. And so my lashes like touch the hood of my eyes when I open my eyes, and it would transfer mascara up on there. And I got really annoyed and frustrated with it, and especially with it getting hotter, it was only going to get worse. And so I decided to swap to one that does that less, and I did. And now I have a really hard time finding it in stores, so I probably have to order it online forever. I don't know why it's so hard to find. I was using the elf waterproof. I think it's like a blue bottle. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was like this elf mascara. And it was cheap and it was decent, but it would transfer. So I swapped to, this is the L'Oreal Million Lashes stuff. So that's what I'm using now. And it's waterproof. I always use the waterproof stuff because I have to do long wear and I work in food. So like I need to like I need waterproof makeup. I need it. I get sweaty and all that other stuff. Agnes, hello, welcome. Happy to have you. I've only done the one stream so far. It's really challenging to stay engaged for that long, and I can only make it about 45 minutes. I'm trying to get this like hand sanitizer out of this bottle. Yeah, no, it's really challenging. For me, I sort of enter a flow state with it. It really helps that chat is very engaging because like half the time we get into it and I sort of like just go with the flow with chat, and it works out pretty well. Like I come on to stream with certain things that I want to talk about, and I'll toss those things in whenever chat is like not as active or whatever. And god damn, like why is this hand sanitizer like not coming out of the bottle? Oh, there we go. Crypt says, hello, it's my first time making it to one of your streams. Wow, welcome. Happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. I hope you enjoy your time. I have you just use makeup that is vegan. I don't know if my makeup is vegan or not. I have no idea. I also swapped my concealer like a month or two ago, and I feel like that's been very noticeable. It's a big boost in quality, and it definitely looks better, I think. But it's hard to tell with the camera. Like honestly, I feel like my concealer looked decent on camera before, but now it looks a lot better and more natural. But like it's just kind of hard to tell with the camera and stuff. I kind of miss the times before AI and bots when you knew for sure that trolls were actual people. It's harder to tell nowadays, and it makes engagement less fun. Yeah, I kind of understand that, and I agree with that. There, like back in the MySpace days, you usually knew that someone was like a real person talking to you back and forth, but you nowadays just have no idea if it's just like a Russian disinformation bot or whatever. And it makes it just feel like a pointless arguing with the void kind of thing. You love how chill this community is? Yeah, me too. We were just talking about that. Was just talking about how I really appreciate my community. Livy says I need to start getting into makeup, especially with the looming threat to my hormone access. Yeah, like I need to get more into makeup because I learned like the basics. Like, and by the basics, I mean like the freaking basics, like the extreme basics, and I have not moved past that. And I feel like I don't know, I like my look. I feel like I look cute sometimes, and I don't have any problem with how I look or whatever, but like I literally do the same makeup every single day. Like I literally do the same thing every single day. And I feel like my base look is like very basic and just has, I don't know. It's just like it's very low effort. Like I'm just scared of looking dumb, so it's hard for me to want to experiment, and so I sort of get locked into like a very ritualistic routine with it. And I did eyeliner once and it was hard and intimidating. Yeah, I want to say when it comes to doing eyeliner, the best thing that you can do is paint it on really messily and then use like a Q-tip to like clean up the eyeliner. So like essentially what I do is like I'll do my eyeliner and it'll be all sloppy and my line is messy and everything. And then I go through with like coconut oil on a Q-tip and I just like clean up the line with it and I clean up the wings as well. Like oftentimes I don't even have wings at first. It's just like a blob and I carve a wing out with a Q-tip and then I put my concealer on after. But like I would not recommend, like do not start with eyeliner because eyeliner is super hard compared to a lot of things. It's like a very fine motor skill kind of thing that you have to learn, like learning concealer, like even just doing your waterline is so much easier. Mascara, all of that is so much easier to do than eyeliner. So I would just recommend that. And then for eyeliner, a magnifying mirror. Yeah, like you definitely need to get like a mirror that you can use to do your makeup in, like a magnifying one for sure. For sure. What's the new concealer? I'm using NARS now. I was using NYX before, but now I'm using NARS. I wouldn't have thought to switch to waterproof. I'm always getting really smoked out from wearing a helmet. Now it seems obvious. Yeah, like waterproof stuff stays on a lot better and I kind of need it because like if I get splashed in the face with water at work or something, I don't want my makeup like running. So, but it's harder to take off. Like I use coconut oil to take off my makeup. I use fractionated coconut oil. It's coconut oil that stays in liquid form even at like room temperature or whatever. But yeah, I recommend waterproof makeup if you're like sweating or gonna get wet from time to time. It really helps it stay on. Like I do long wear. I do my makeup and like when I get up and I just wear it all day. So I did eyeliner once and oh yeah, that one. I read that already. Have to agree this community is super chill. If you like super chill communities, come join the Discord. Mods are in standby to verify ya. Yeah, I mentioned that before, but pinned chat here. I have a pinned message. You can click it. It's my link tree. It's yeah. We think you look cute every time you're awake, Leah. Well, so you're saying when I'm asleep, I'm super ugly? I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Try using different eye color shadows. It's a great way to change things up without really doing much. I have never used eyeshadow and like I want to try it, but I'm really, really nervous about looking like weird because my eyes are so hooded. Like my eyes are so hooded. I'm really scared that it's gonna make my brow bone look like super prominent and make me look like like I'm in a rock band in a bad way. And so I've just been kind of like scared of it. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. I don't know how to get over that, to be honest with you. Mm. Can you do a tutorial about makeup? Honestly, I'm not qualified. I like literally this is what I do every day. Like I just do the mascara, some concealer, and I put eyeliner on. Like that's what I do every day. And I don't feel qualified to give you I can do one thing and that's it. I want to do my eyes because it makes me look so much better. Yeah, like I cannot, like I have to have mascara on. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like if I'm not wearing mascara, I sort of hate myself. And then I put mascara on and I'm like, there's the bitch. There's that bitch. But if I don't have mascara on, it's like, ugh, it just makes me feel super dysphoric. I've kind of wanted to get into false lashes or whatever, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of friends in real life and I have a hard time with like I'm very self-critical, and so like if I try something and it goes very wrong or goes really poorly, I kind of feel really terrible. And like if you have friends, it's a lot easier to learn that kind of stuff because they can show you like, oh, this is the right way to do it. And oh, if you mess up, oh, it's fine. Ha ha ha. Let's just try again or whatever. But when you're by yourself, it's just really easy to be self-critical and like I don't know. I struggle with that a lot. So it's really hard for me to experiment by myself. Like I'd rather just succeed at the thing I know I'm good at doing, which I know it's a little bit sad, but for foundation, if you're brown, spend the money and buy Fenty. It matches better. Gotcha. Eye makeup is my legit jam. I don't really care about other stuff most of the time unless I'm going to a drag show or a party. For liner, put your elbow on something and use a hand mirror and look down into that. It's all in the wrist. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta like you gotta support your elbow so that it's like you're just doing like really fine motor control. Um, for sure. For sure. I hate having hooded eyes. Yeah, it kind of pisses me off sometimes. Like if I want to do winged liner, I have to bring my eyeliner like super far out and then do my wing like over here. Because if I try to do my wing up on my hood, it just looks really dumb. It's just really frustrating. It's really hard to do eyeliner. Like when I'm doing my eyeliner, I have to completely like shut my eye and I have to like look straight down in order to like get my eye to not have the crease. Like even if I shut my eye, if I'm looking straight forward, I have a crease. I have to look like all the way down. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. And then like if I like stop raising my eyebrows for like half a second, it'll like smudge on my crease. And I just, oh my God, it just drives me crazy. Oh, it drives me crazy. I don't do liquid eyeliner very often, and I wish I did because I do think I look cute with it. But like, when I do liquid liner, I usually do like a puppy liner where like I bring the wing down and I just have it point down slightly because I think that that's like it fits my eye shape so much better than doing a cat eye because cat eye for me just has to be like really far out and I just think it doesn't look that great, honestly. I have super fair skin, so if I try wearing mascara, I look like a traumatized raccoon. Aw, don't say that. I feel like you can find something that works. You can do like different color eyeliner or mascara. Like you can do like brown mascara if it's just too much, you know? Cis girls feel the same. Yeah, true. I so desire makeup pals. Me too. I need more girlfriends who want to play with makeup. Yeah, me too. Me too. Maybe, you know what? Maybe that would be something fun to do on the Discord. Like if the mods or someone is or just anyone in the Discord is interested, we could do like a makeup night where like people like use I don't know if we could do that. We would have to moderate it. So like a mod would have to be involved. Like a mod would have to be willing to moderate it. But we could do like a makeup night where like people get together and just like play around with makeup and you can use your camera or whatever. Like you you could have like people streaming their looks or whatever. Um talking about what they're doing, playing around with ideas and stuff. I think that's a great idea. But of course, like a mod would have to be free to like oversee that because like we do not have voice chat in my Discord because some people, you know, like it's a dark time for a lot of people. The world is in a dark place and people crash out pretty commonly online nowadays. And so it's yeah, it's a thing where like they have to like if we had voice chats, they have to be moderated at all times, and so we don't really have voice chat because that's just a lot. It's just a lot. You recently went back to Ulta Beauty, so you get good discount on all the makeup. That's where I shop. I shop at Ulta Beauty. So yeah, yep. Yep. I am honestly, oh gosh. Stretching is so nice. I tend to really get stuck. Oh, OBS just like disconnected for a second. Are we, is stream still going? I don't know what happened. Weird. That's bizarre. It's quite a weird thing. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if stream got screwed up for a second or whatever, but hopefully it's still going. Hopefully it's still good. Sheesh. Yeah, so I feel like we can get back to politics if we want. We haven't talked about politics in a second, which is fine because I sort of just talk about whatever. But basically what I was going to talk about was the whole topic for the stream was essentially going to be the strikes against the nuclear facilities in Iran, and talking about like the conflict and how Trump promised to be a peaceful, peace promoting president. And we talked about it a little bit, but we didn't talk about it very much. So he recently put out a statement saying that there was a ceasefire agreement, and then some Iranian official basically said like that's not true. So we're still kind of wondering what's happening here. Gotta go. School night. Much love. Yeah, have a good one. Thank you for being here. Thanks for engaging. I appreciate you, and I hope you have some great sleep and stuff. What's with the fake out ceasefire? Yeah, so like I think it's just like him. I think Trump thinks that if he posts that there's a ceasefire, the countries will like do a ceasefire to appease him or something. Like I think he thinks that he can just demand them to do a ceasefire, but they're not. And so it's, you know, it's just dumb. It's really dumb. And he like I think in the statement he mentioned that this is a 12-day war. Like literally Trump himself is saying this is a war, like by his own admission. It's like, I thought you were the anti-war president. I thought you were the pro-peace president. I thought that's what you were doing. But I guess you just lied. Surprise, surprise. I guess you just lied. Trump might actually be delusional. He for sure is delusional. He's for sure delusional. I mean, like he's just he's got a level of psychopathy that is unparalleled in all of the world, and his ego is so massive. Like he genuinely believes that like God spared his life so that he could be the 47th president and do all this stuff. Like he believes that he has the mandate of heaven, and he doesn't even believe in heaven, but he believes that he is like a god, basically. Maybe he's in psychosis. I mean, like look, if you do stimulants for a long period of time, it destroys your brain. Like it literally destroys your brain. And like, let's be real, Trump has hit that point. He has done so many stimulants, and he's such a raging narcissist that his brain is completely rotted, and the only thing that's left is the frontal lobe. Like the only thing that's left is the amygdala and the frontal lobe. Like he's just an ego-driven psychopathic maniac, and like that's all he is. Like he does not have any deeper emotional anything. Like he's absolutely it's ridiculous. And I feel like, you know, like imagine being a part of his family. That must be such an empty, soulless, loveless existence. Like It's really disgusting. Like he just lacks a basic humanity where he's just driven entirely by narcissism. He has a favorite book of the Bible. He just doesn't want to disclose that. uh is STL, is that Seattle? Has a fee because, or the Pride has a fee because all the sponsors pulled out. That's really sad. Amygdala is a cute name for baby girl. Amy for sure. I don't know if I would name a girl Amygdala. It seems. Oh, St. Louis. Okay, thank you. I don't know if I would do that. I don't know how to say that. Bupropion, which is a kind of stimulant antidepressant. It helps me though. I mean, like stimulants. I'm talking about abusing them. Like if you're on a specific dose of a stimulant and you need to be on it for reasons, like that's fine. And I'm not giving medical advice, but just like people that abuse stimulants for long periods of time, clearly it destroys your brain. Like it absolutely destroys you. And so like Trump is that kind of person. Like he's probably done an insane amount of stimulants, like an unreasonable amount of stimulants, and he probably still does them. And yeah, I it's not good for you. I used to work in a pharmacy. There are so many things that can mess with a person's mind. Yeah. I was on antidepressants for a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not like how that made me feel and the kind of person that made me be. I really, the numbness was uncomfortable for me. Like I prefer to be the kind of person who feels things rather than the kind of person who numbs things. And I don't know. Like when I oh, I was trying to let you guys see it. Freddy's head. He like fell asleep and his head started slipping, and I was gonna show you because it was cute. But he woke up anyway. Um, before transitioning, I was on a cocktail of like caffeine, THC, and nicotine, and those three drugs were basically me shoving the dysphoria as far back into the back of my brain as possible. I was abusing all three of those things. Like I was drinking way too much tea, unsweetened tea. I was drinking a lot of it every single day. I was consuming a ton of nicotine, and I was also consuming a ton of THC. And all of that was just like to shut up the part of me that absolutely despised myself. It was very bad. And honestly, what's really amazing about it is that since I've transitioned, like I have cut back, I quit nicotine. I've cut back on caffeine dramatically. And I've also cut back on THC dramatically. And like that would not be possible without transition. Like transition literally gave me the ability to have peace with myself, which was the reason why I was relying on unhealthy coping mechanisms because nothing else was working. Oh, look at the little baby. He's such a good boy. You didn't know I had a cat? Yeah, he is Freddy. He is the stinky poopy boy, but we love him. And hopefully he won't be poopy forever. Hopefully. I feel like it mostly balances my mood. I can be sad when I want to be sad or happy when I'm supposed to be happy. I swear it does make my mania last longer, which is bad for my wallet though. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, do what you gotta do, you know? Little Freddy Smoosh Face is so adorable. Yeah, he is so adorable. He is such a good baby boy. Good baby boy, honestly. Yeah, but we're kind of stuck in this to get back to the politics of it. Like we're kind of stuck in this weird moment where we have no idea what's going on with this Iranian conflict. Netanyahu is thirsty for war. Like, he is absolutely thirsty for war. Um, it's really freaking frustrating. He clearly, like, Netanyahu knows that the second that wartime is over, he's going to be locked away and the keys getting thrown away. Like, he knows that he cannot maintain power without a conflict, without an ongoing conflict. And so he's in this continuous escalation where he's constantly trying to force more and more international conflict in order to drag out his power, in order to stay in power. And it's disgusting. I mean, he's committing a genocide and he's trying to start a war with a country of 91 million people, or 92 million people, or whatever. Crip says, I haven't been able to start HRT as they up the age right as I turned 18. I'm so sorry about that. That's horrible. But you're still real young. And when you do get access to it, I hope that you have an amazing time, and I hope that you enjoy the ride and the journey. I mean, just to give you perspective on it, like, I started at 29 years old. I was in my late 20s, very late 20s. I was about to turn 30, and it all came crashing down on me. Like, the self-hatred that I had been ignoring and shoving aside and pushing away, and all of that, it became very clear to me that I was trans, and that was the root cause of all of my internal self-hatred. And yeah, I started at 29 years young. So it's not too late. It's never too late. And I hope that you get to enjoy transition soon. And I'm really sorry that you've been denied access, even though you're 18 years old and you should be able to make decisions for yourself about your body. It's dumb. It's really dumb. And that just goes to show that it's not about the kids. Like, they want legal adults to not have the option to. Like, they want to restrict it for everybody. I still remember when the Republicans had him make an address in Congress, which was super weird. Yeah. Netanyahu is a disgusting, demonic entity. He is such a force of raw evil. The world would be better off without him, for sure. He's just such a horrible person. It is sick that we experience a higher medical scrutiny than cis people. They can just walk in and get shit, but we need therapy and all kinds of nonsense. Yeah, that's so stupid. In my honest opinion, HRT should be legal at 13, young enough to coincide with typical cis puberty. Yeah, like, I agree too. And of course that includes like someone who, like, if at 13 you decide I'm trans, then like you need to maybe get on puberty blockers for a little bit while you go through therapy and counseling and you figure it out. And like, there's a whole process, and there's a medically approved process, and it's something that is safe, and like, obviously doesn't include medical intervention until puberty actually starts. But like, kids should have the option to explore that kind of stuff and come to the conclusions before they go through the puberty, because then obviously it makes it a bit more challenging later in life to go through it. I didn't even know transgender people existed until I was 30. 2 people I knew transitioned in the same year. Yeah, I had a friend who had been transitioning for about a year and a half, and I was doing research on it to like be a better friend, and I realized what was happening. I was like, oh shit, a lot of this is sounding weirdly familiar. It's so funny. But yeah, like, I knew trans people existed. Like, I knew of trans people, and I knew trans people existed, but like, our culture only allows people like like back in the day, especially when I was growing up, most of the exposure to trans people was either through porn or through like the Murray show or like Dr. Phil, and this extremely derogatory framing where it's like, look at this delusional like it was like misgendering and all of this. They look like a woman, but they're really like disgusting framing, disgusting way of talking about people. It was really cruel and horrible, and I I I just like I would have transitioned so much sooner in my life if there were like um actual, or Jerry Springer, yeah, if there were like actual positive examples of trans people, and if I had been taught about it at all when I was growing up. Like I confused gender envy for attraction. So like I thought I was attracted to females like very strongly in a really strong kind of weird way. But it turns out that like I'm pansexual, but like it turns out that I was just really like really envious of women. Like I wanted to be a woman so bad because I felt like one internally. And so it just created this like yearning where like I would uh I would essentially like try to live vicariously through my partner's lives and stuff. So I was very self-sacrificial, and I was very like unable to find joy or satisfaction in my own life. So I would pride myself on being like the support system for my partner in a very like unhealthy parasocial kind of way. And it was not good. And so like as I got older and as I looked into it and everything, I realized like, oh, you know, attraction isn't like, that's not attraction, that's jealousy, that's envy. And um here I am, and now I find myself more attracted to like mask presenting people, like whether they're trans mask or a masculine presenting woman or a masculine presenting guy. I'm attracted to all of that stuff. Like pretty strongly, honestly. I was the same way. I'm attracted to women, but in more of a normal way now. Your experience strongly mirrors mine. Yeah, like I feel like it's a really common experience because like like we are not taught to understand what gender envy is. And so it's like you have an emotion that you can't put a name to, and so you try to, and it just like the name, like the name that you need, the understanding that you need is just not available to you. And so you just replace it with something that you feel um yeah. Yep. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, was so horrible in hindsight. Oh, for sure. Gotta be honest, I basically knew nothing about LGBT stuff other than gay and bi. I knew about transgender people, but didn't understand the concept of gender. Yeah. No, I get that. I was always like, that's gross, but I get it. I would want that if I could fully transition. Or like, yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like I used to be like, if only I didn't already go through puberty, or if only it were actually possible. Like I kept having the thought of like, if only it were actually possible to be a real woman, then I would do it. Or like a real girl, or whatever. But like I thought that the only way to achieve being transgender was through like top surgery and like stuff like that. Like I didn't really understand what hormone therapy does and like how much it actually changes your body, and I did not understand like social transition and stuff. Like I don't know. I had a really toxic understanding of the trans experience, which I blame on our culture not having proper education or representation. I came out secretly to my adopted siblings at 12, and I had gone through puberty at 9. Apparently, on my mother's side, is very popular, and since I was adopted, they didn't know that. Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. Also, my family thought trans identity and sexuality are the same thing, so I thought that I had to like men to feel valid in what I was experiencing. Yeah, there are a lot of people who have the misconception that like trans women are just like insanely gay people, like insanely gay quote unquote men. I don't even want to say that, but like like you're so gay you become a woman or whatever, which is just ridiculous. So that is also a common misconception. I never had that misconception, but like I did feel like, I don't know, I thought I was really attracted to women, so I thought I wanted to, I don't know, it's weird. Kind of gross, but how I learned about HRT was on Urban Dictionary. That's funny. Pulling up a men's clinic for T shots and being like, but if I do this, it puts me further away from femininity. My mom used to tell me you'll get your ass kicked for anything feminine, so I hid that side of myself for years. Yeah, I get that. It was definitely frowned upon to do that kind of stuff. Um, HRT was a game changer for me. I had no idea there was magical pills that take to change your whole body. Yeah. One of the first signs of my egg cracking was when I said to a group of male friends that every guy wants to be a woman, and they just looked at me like, I'm not really. I found a therapist that told me there was nothing wrong with me and I didn't need behavior modification. I only needed the right hormones. Blew my mind. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I like for me, I was so repressed that like behavior modification has been a part of my transition because it's less of behavior modification like for the point of assimilation, and it's more like expressing parts of myself that I've never let myself express. Like I'm really flamboyant and emotional and kind of a lot at times, and I feel like I never let myself be that way before transition, but now I'm allowing myself to explore my my feminine side more, and I'm allowing myself to express that more. And so there has been like a change in my behavior over the course of my transition, but I would say that that's more of just a becoming process and not like a whatever. When I said I was trans, my mom repeatedly asked how many men I'd been with. As you can tell, she was very firmly in the belief that sexuality and gender were the same. Yeah. It's ironic because many homosexuals are also forced into a feminine presentation due to gay culture. True. My behavior has changed so much just because I feel more free to be myself. Yeah, that's how I feel. One of my biggest egg cracking moments was, as weird as it sounds, seeing the Grace character played by Mackenzie Davis in Terminator Dark Fate. I don't know who that is, to be honest. For me, so like I was identifying as non-binary for like 5 years before um transitioning, because like in my 20s I sort of realized like I don't feel like a guy in the traditional sense of a guy. I felt like there was something weird going on there, and I met someone who was non-binary, and I had a conversation with them about the fact that like I didn't want to like wear a dress or whatever because I didn't want to look androgynous. And they basically explained to me that like you don't like have to be androgynous to be non-binary. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm probably non-binary then. And so I identified as non-binary exclusively for like 5 years or so before starting my transition as like you know, MTF or whatever. So I still identify as non-binary, but more like in the agender spectrum, where like I don't feel like I don't like a lot of people very strongly view everything as gendered, and I honestly like gender is not really something that like I don't know, it's weird to describe. Like I just feel a disconnect from like certain gendered trains of thought or whatever. I tend to think of a lot of things in very gender neutral ways. um this could be an element of my autism, to be honest. I practiced my feminine side mostly on MMOs. Same here. Oh my god. And it was working for a while, but eventually I had to break away. Yeah, that was that's so funny. I did the same exact thing. Oh my god, that's so funny. I spent so much of my life as a gay man. I'm firmly into a year of HRT now, and I'm about to be turned 34. It's been a difficult road, but happy to be here. I'm so proud of you for finding yourself and for finding your journey and um being on HRT. That's so awesome. I'm really happy for you. I found out I was trans when I was always pretending to be a boy as a child and would get mad when my adoptive parents would get mad and buy me all the pinkest dresses. Didn't feel right in dresses. Oh, that's really interesting. I obsessively made female characters for years. Yeah, me too. Yo, I did that too. Non-binary identity was able to ease me into the idea that it was okay to transition. Yeah, like I remember the exact moment where I decided to transition medically, and it was I was watching a video. I don't know if you guys know who Marceline is, but she's like a YouTuber who does like video essay content or whatever. I think she still, I don't know if she still goes by Marcy or I, because she's changed her name a couple times, I think, and I just don't I don't know. I'm not super up to date or whatever. But anyway, the point is that like I was watching a video and essentially um the discussion of non-binary transition came up, and like basically she gave permission, like if you're non-binary and you want to medically transition, go for it, because that was where I was stuck. Like I was like, I don't really feel like a binary trans woman. I don't know if it's like acceptable or like okay for me to access medical transition without like wanting to quote unquote be a full woman or whatever that means. Um which is funny because I do identify with womanhood now, but like back then I was just so like afraid of it and like afraid of not knowing. I don't know. Just it's like I feel like a lot of trans people doubt themselves and have a lot of like a long questioning phase where they're like, man, I really don't want to like do this and then regret it, or like do this and then like it be wrong or something. But Marceline essentially said like, hey, it's okay for non-binary people to medically transition. Like that's totally acceptable. It's your body. You do what you want with it. And I was like, oh shit. So true. And so like I just went for it. And then here I am now, um, doing the thing. I'm very happy that I'm here. I used to be a really shy and quiet person, and once I started transitioning, I've become super loud and flamboyant. Honestly, my friends are like, glad you opened up, but do you have to be so sassy about it? That's so funny. I saw you use what began basically as female bandit Keith in WWE games. Now the character has evolved more into a gothic biker. Interesting. I've always played female characters in games, but I've always been self-conscious over due to how it might be perceived. True. Me too. I always had an excuse. Like, oh, if you're gonna stare at a butt all day, wouldn't you rather stare at a lady butt? That was like one of my arguments for a long time about why. Or like, oh, there are so many male protagonists already. Like, why can't we have some more female protagonists? I'm balancing the scales of the universe or whatever, like an argument I used. Me too. I remember long before my egg cracked, I played this game called Boyfriend Dungeon, and I was astounded that I could choose a gender and my own pronouns. I always made boy OCs and made little backstories for them too. Uh, Thank you, Josh. I'm glad you did and proud of the way you are using your voice now. Thank you. That means a lot. I really am been trying to be an advocate and be here and be visible and be a positive influence on my community and stuff. So I appreciate you saying that. My name is Tim, and you built an AI bot. Okay, welcome, welcome. Anyway, um, I know this is kind of sudden or whatever, but I might start wrapping up stream here in a few minutes. It's been almost 3 hours. I actually did not expect to go this long, but I did, and I'm happy because it's been a great stream and engaging with chat has been wonderful, and you're all very wonderful, and I'm super happy that I did the stream. It's always a good time. I get nervous before streams, it's a little bit of nerves, and also I'm very busy, so it's like, oh, I just kind of want to relax or whatever. But hey, I'm always thankful I do it. I love my community, and I'm gonna try to be, here as often as I can. Again, I apologize for the lack of like consistent streams lately. It's been um hard to be consistent, especially during the summer with like all the festivals I'm going to. Well, not all of, I mean, it's not like a ton or anything, but like the festivals and some other things I've been doing, and my work has been all over the place and things have been exhausting and I've been tired and overwhelmed. So I'm a little inconsistent lately, but I promise I'm trying. I promise I'm doing my best. And yeah, I thank you all very much for supporting me and being here for me. And I hope that you're all staying cool with this hot, hot weather and staying hydrated, because it's important to stay hydrated, especially when it's like as hot as it has been outside. If you let yourself get dehydrated, that is a very dangerous situation. I want all of you to be safe and healthy and make sure that you are taking care of yourself. So, anyway, it was nice chatting. Thank you, Leah, for doing this. I appreciate you and everyone here. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. This is like all my streams are always wonderful, and it always like makes me feel better about things and humanity and everything. And so, you know, I appreciate that. I have, again, there's a link tree pinned in the chat here. There's a chat message pinned. It's a link. If you click it, it opens up and my Discord is in there. You can click my Discord and you can hop in there and chat with folks, including me. We have a wonderful community in the Discord. We would love to have more people in there. We would love to see you all there. And I really appreciate everything. It's all been very wonderful. So, big shout out to my Patreon members. Like, if you're watching, thank you so very much. Patreon is really a wonderful thing that helps me fund my channel. So like, if you're interested, that's also in the link tree. I really want to try to mention that more often, because ad revenue and everything is really inconsistent right now. Like, I was making a decent amount of money from ad revenue, but now I'm making like less than half what I was making, and it's really, really, really rough. So like, honestly, Patreon is what's keeping my channel afloat right now and keeping me going, and keeping this like I have an editor I have to underpay. Okay. Like, I can't afford to pay the editor out of my own paycheck from work. And so like, I rely on the Patreon to be able to give at least something to my editor to be able to, like, you know, have a little bit of help with the channel. So please, if you have a few dollars extra every month and you would like to pass those along to me for some of the work that I'm doing, I would really appreciate it. And hopefully over the course of time, I would love to go full time here on YouTube. It just feels like it's a lot harder now. I I have to replace my income, which is hard to do when the income is when like, if the ad revenue is cut in half now, like that just means that I have to go like even longer until I replace my income and am able to transition into doing this more. It's a frustrating situation for sure, but maybe one day I'll be able to go full time here on YouTube and share more videos and content with you all. I would like to get into making like short form content. Like, I would love to make like reels or shorts on YouTube, because I feel like that would help get more exposure and get maybe grow my audience a little bit. But I'm so busy lately, like I'm having a really hard time adding anything onto my plate. But maybe I'll be able to figure out a way to get do some short form content, like in general. Like, if I record something as a reel for like TikTok or like Instagram or whatever, and then I could just post it on YouTube as well. So like, I can reuse that short content on a variety of platforms. And I think that that might be it, part of the direction that I go in, is just come up with a thought and then post it as a short, like just a really quick thing. And yeah, this was the best first stream I have ever had. Well, we were happy you were here. I'm very happy that you've all been here. Thank you all for being such a lovely audience. Thank you all. And again, stay hydrated, take care of yourself, do some self-care. Try to enjoy the little things in life, because it'll help you have the energy to go through these dark times that we're going through. But I will be back with another stream, another video in the near future. And until then, please take care of yourself. And here is one last little Freddy shot of him napping like a good boy. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.